thescreensavers.com is radioactive. Hey, are you the geekiest person in the Silicon Valley, or maybe you know someone who is in desperate need of a geek makeover? If you are over 18 and will be in the San Francisco Bay Area in April, then send us the mail to tssvmail@techtv.com. For more information on how you can receive a geek makeover, check out our instructions at thescreensavers.com. Back to you guys.
Do they get a date with you if they get a successful makeover?
You know, why not? Why not?
Oh, Jesse, you're so sorry you said that.
No,
you do not.
I'm trying to be a team player here. Team player.
You know, we've been having trouble getting entries, but all of a sudden they're just pouring in.
Flooding in.
One of the most often asked questions, why is Pat in charge of installing hardware on the screensavers? Because he's our fry cook. If Pat can do it without frying it, put on the fry cook hat.
That's what I wore all those years I worked on the grill.
He's the king.
That's just like this.
Yeah, I still have calluses on the fingers from flipping those burgers.
You know, you could have used a spatula.
No, that was too manly.
Oh, well, people always ask us how to install PCs. You know what? It all begins with installing the motherboard. Without the motherboard, you can't install anything else and have a running computer, so we're going to start there.
This is great.
Yeah.
I've been dying for this segment. I've installed a few motherboards, but I seem to always have a hard time. I get pinched. I got the screws up on the right place.
A lot of it depends on the case itself. We have here's a basic ATX case. We've removed the hard drive cage from over here to give us a little better access. Now, can we sneak inside of there? Look down in here.
This is nice.
This is nice because this is actually set up specifically for the mounting points on ATX motherboard.
They put little nipples where the screw holes are. Normally, every case I've ever used before just has holes there.
Can we show them an example?
Yeah.
We'll show them an example. This is actually something you folks are going to see again later on in the show. This is how a lot of cases are set up.
That's more like what I've seen.
If you can, whoops, let me move that.
See, there's just holes everywhere. That's to accommodate a variety of different
hundreds of different motherboard designs. The problem is you're going to buy an ATX motherboard because you're a 21st century kind of guy.
So it should have ATX holes. Yes. The other problem with that is if you put the screw in the wrong place and you forget, you can short out the motherboard. You've got to make sure that the risers go where there's going to be screws and nowhere else.
That would be bad. But once you clear out your space, we've got all our cables. We're going to clear this out. What you want to do is actually, in this case, we don't actually have to mount a whole bunch of complicated hardware, which is nice. Normally, you're going to have a mess of hardware that comes inside the bag. It's going to have screws. It's going to have plastic risers. It might have brass risers. Try to use the brass risers. You know, else let me flip this motherboard over real quick. Is something else clever we've seen is people have actually used rubber plastic pieces, and that actually eliminates if there isn't a slot in the motherboard for you to mount it properly. You can at least keep the motherboard from flexing, and B, you can keep from actually having issues where you said before we actually ground out or short circuit the motherboard.
That is a nice touch, because if you especially here where you have slots where you can put in cards, you're going to be torquing that thing.
Exactly. If this is not set up properly, you will actually flex and bend the motherboard, and you can damage it that way. Or at worst, you know, you're not going to be able to get it to start because things aren't going to be compact.
Do you like? I noticed you put the RAM in ahead of time. You like to put the RAM and the CPU in ahead of time?
The truth is, I actually almost always put it in afterwards. It just happened to be in place.
All right.
And, you know what? I'll pull it out right now.
Okay.
Just to make you happy.
I don't want to make it hard on you. I'm just curious. I want to do it like you do it.
You want to do it like I do? Don't do it like I do. Because if you folks are doing the whole. One thing we did warn people about is grounding yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's very important. Usually they'll often actually send you like a little thing, and you strap it onto your wrist, and you clip it onto the computer case, and it keeps you from grounding out. Leo's pretending he's scuffing his leather shoes.
I'm not pretending, I am.
Carpet. And that would be
now
bad.
I'm going to touch, it's either you or either your motherboard or your nose. Okay.
Ow. He just grounded himself.
I discharged myself on Pat.
And I grounded myself on the table.
It's true, though. We don't live in a dry climate here. We don't have the static problem other people do. But if you live in a dry climate where static is an issue, do discharge that electricity. It'll kill that motherboard.
And do not discharge it while you're touching this. You know, use the anti-static bags. Use the little
power supply is good.
Yeah, touch the power supply. Make sure, you know, of course, don't plug the power supply in first before you start touching stuff. We've mounted, actually, I don't know if you can see it over here on the side, folks. We've actually mounted the plate where all of our little hardware doohickeys are going to go to stick out the back.
This comes with the case, right? This little metal plate.
It could come with the case. It could come with the motherboard. Most likely it comes with the case. You're going to want to make sure that either matches up to all of the little parts on the back.
They'll have little punch holes.
Yeah.
So punch out the ones that you need.
And if it doesn't match, don't be afraid to just pop that thing out of the case.
You don't have to have it.
You don't have
what
to
is that for shielding, or is it just for cosmetics?
I think mostly it's cosmetics, and it supports, and it makes the case a little tighter. So we're going to reach in here. here. This is the part where you really need to be gentle. Do not Conan the motherboard in place. If you're not fitting under something like the hard drive cage or the power supply.
Spoken as a true barbarian.
Spoken as a true barbarian. Be gentle. Be nice. Because motherboards get really expensive, not unlike Athlon processors, right, Leo? So we're going to slide this in place
refer to
here.
That.
So
Can I hand you the screwdriver and a screwdriver?
Hand me the screwdriver. Actually, I need to...
I'll be your nurse.
Nurse Laporte.
Hello, nice.
Hello, nurse.
Where should I...
well, I'm not going to jam that on there. And then, of course, next thing you do, use
We don't have to show them how to screw. They know how to do that. You want to screw one?
How about that Mets? Well, okay, I'm going to have to... Here, you move the memory. I'm going to slide this down, folks, because I can't do that.
You can't do it at an angle.
Well, you can, but not on television.
Make sure if you've got... I often put the risers in. I don't usually have a case that's this nice with has this built-in kind of risers. Put the risers in. Make sure, again, that you only put them where there are going to be holes and screws. If you have a riser hitting the bottom of the motherboard where there are tracings, you will short your motherboard and kill it.
That would be bad.
Pat's got the tips right here. While you screw the screw in, I'm going to read them for you. Number one, clean that workspace. You don't want to get dust or extraneous material inside the motherboard of the case. Check your hardware. Get the right tools. Ground yourself. And don't be shy. Don't be a barbarian.
Round or ground?
I'm round. You're grounded.
Thanks, Dad.
And don't be shy. And what do you mean by don't be shy?
Don't be shy? This could be a little... Oh, I just did. We'll do another one here.
He's working so well.
Remember, it's this is going to look a little confusing. Take your time. Don't be afraid of it. And you know what?
You can do this.
You can do this. And don't be afraid to take half your computer apart to get that motherboard in place.
It really does help to remove the stuff so you can get in there. And that's one of the things I do wrong.
I think that's what I mean by don't be shy.
Yeah, all right.
Well, you like to wedge things underneath the power supply.
I do, and I always have... My knuckles are always skinned and stuff because I always hurt myself.
Barbarian.
I'm a barbarian at heart. If you missed anything with this discussed or you want to find out more about how to build a barbarian PC, stop by our website, open up, and point your browser to the screensurfers.com, you little girly man. Stay where you are.